Hello. So what I'm going to do today is to go ahead and cover my reasons for why I am ready to be done with an inflatable hot tub. Now this may come as a shock to you folks who have been following my channel for a few years now and see my videos and wondering kind of what's gone on here and why this sudden change. Well, it's something that's not necessarily a sudden change. It's just something that's been building up over the years where certain things are just kind of wearing on my nerves with the hot tub and with the inflatable hot tub, and just I'm ready to move on and do something different at this point. So the first one is filter maintenance. Filter maintenance has really just reached the point where it's a lot of nights I'm like, I'm not going in tonight because I don't want to deal with this. So what's going on is that, with an inflatable hot tub, after every use, you're supposed to change out the filters. This is true of any make or model. And so, in the US here, we have 2 filters. And so I take a set of filters and I have it nearby. I go ahead and use the hot tub, and then I go ahead and swap out the filters, and then I go and I rinse out the filters. And this is all part of my regular hot tub routine because it's what I have to do because I have an inflatable tub that is designed to work that way. Even worse is that even if I don't use my hot tub for a week or two, I still have to change out the filters a minimum of once a week and ideally twice a week if I really want to keep the filters being able to be rotated and reused for a longer period of time, and my hot tub stays cleaner, clearer, and that sort of thing. So those are, I would say, are the number one reason, followed closely by this one, this lovely 72-hour shut-off. Despite my best efforts, there's just so many different things I have going on. If you've watched my channel, I've got multiple hobbies. I've got other things going on in my life, work, family, and other such things that, quite frankly, I can't be there all the time to just sit there and remember, oh yeah, I need to make sure even if I don't use the tub for 3 days that I get out there and I work on something, make a status change on the keypad so that I can go ahead and keep the pump running. Because after 72 hours with these things, they go ahead and they shut off for safety reasons. I don't know what the issue is with that, but that's what they explain as the reason for why it has that feature. All I know is that more than once I've run into situations where I get busy and all of a sudden I realize 4 days have gone by, and I may not realize it until after I go outside and I'm getting ready to get into the hot tub, and I look down and the hot tub's been off for a day or two and the tub is 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which would be lovely if I were looking to take a dip in a pool, but not something you want to deal with when you're expecting a hot tub sitting around 100 degrees or more. So that would be the next one, would be the safety shutoff on the inflatables. It just adds more maintenance factor to it where you have to remember to have keypad activity, even if you're not using your tub for a few days, which just, it's not practical for me, okay? And it's not practical for a lot of people. So it's just a hassle factor, and I'm ready to be done with that too. The next one, air jets. The vast majority of inflatable hot tubs are air jets. I know that, in Europe and other parts of the world, there are a few hydrojet models that are there. Here stateside, we have not seen any hydrojet models that are regularly available for about a year now. So realistically, for those of us here in the US, air jets are the only option. And air jets, I mean, they're a cheap way to add a sort of, jet or bubble effect to the tub, but they're not giving you any real hydrotherapy. They're not, targeting, sore muscles in your back or anything like that. I mean, yeah, you can press your back up against the back of the tub and they'll give you that sort of bubble massage action against your back and whatnot, but they're never going to massage your feet, they're never going to massage your legs or anything like that. And to make matters worse, they work by pulling in the ambient air, which is almost always much cooler than your hot tub itself. So the effect is that you have a massive cooling that happens as long as you're running your jets with the air jets. Whereas if you're running hydrojets, even if you're not running heat, it's going to maintain the temperature of the tub a fair bit longer because it's not pulling in a bunch of cold air to make the jets. So that's the other one, just lack of hydrotherapy and the cool down factor. The fourth one is that when it comes to the end of the season and having to take it down for winter and everything, I know some people leave them up year round and all that, but the most of the people who leave them up year round are not in environments that get deep hard freezes in the winter. Or if they are individuals who live in those areas, they have lots of money to burn as far as paying for electric bills because the cost is insane because it's having to heat all the time because they're very poorly insulated. It's basically non-existent. You know, and I know there are options for insulated covers and things like that, and I've tried messing with that. But once again, that adds to the hassle factor, and one more thing you got to take off and put on your tub before you get in. So, but cleaning it out for tearing it down in the winter, and then cleaning it out once again in the spring to make sure it's good to go. It's just, I'm ready to be done with that. I'm ready to just have something that's there, it's plugged in, it's ready for use when I want it, minimal maintenance in between, and I'm just ready to be done with that. So anyways, you can kind of see where this is going, and this is going to the point where it's reached the point where I'm ready to upgrade to a plug-and-play hard side tub. You know, the finances have been a little more favorable for me at this point to where I could actually, you know, at least be able to afford, you know, a small 2 to 4 person plug-and-play, which is fine because most of the time it's just me in the tub. So, you know, one of the things that drives me nuts, and I'm sorry, I'm a little off on a tangent here, is that a lot of times, you know, you go to a dealer and they're trying to shove a 6 to 8 person hot tub. You don't need all that, okay? If it's just you in most of the time, you don't need all that. So I'm going to go ahead and, you know, bide my time and look for the right deal. I have a local guy here who does refurb jobs. You know, I just have to keep an eye out on his site for when he gets them in, and that's probably the route that I'm going to end up going. So I'm going to go ahead and go to a plug-and-play hard side and just be able to have a hot tub that can be used year-round with a minimal hassle, minimal fuss, and lower operating costs and less maintenance, just having to do less things to it on a regular basis, which would be great for me because, you know, if you know anything about my channel, you know, I also maintain a couple of aquariums, one of which is a reef tank. So I do a fair bit of water maintenance even without the hot tub. So it's just one of those things where I feel that it is time for me to go ahead and move on. And I appreciate, you know, the inflatable hot tubs and what they've done for me and given me the opportunity to enjoy a hot tub at a low entry level cost. It's just, it's reached the point where I'm ready for something that's more long-term, more beneficial, and something that's going to suit me better. And that's all I've got, and thanks for watching.